Hello and welcome to MCC TV International Show. My name is John David and I'm the Business Department Coordinator and also the co-host for this show.
Hello, my name is Loureen Sayej. I'm an international student. I am from Ramallah, Palestine. I'm the co-host of this show as well. So today's guest is Sayej. Sayej has come all the way from Africa, from a country called Liberia. Welcome, Sayej.
Thank you.
How about you start with introducing yourself, where you come from, your country, and everything?
Well, my name is Sayej Tarpeh. I'm from Liberia, specifically in West Africa. My country is bordered by Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Ivory Coast. I came as an asylum seeker in the United States. I'm in MCC for now. I've been here for like 2 years, enrolling at MCC.
Good, good. Welcome to MCC and welcome to Muscatine also, Sayej.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about your native country, Liberia. Tell us something about Liberia, please.
Well, Liberia is really an important country for the fact that it has some historical link to the United States. In the early 1800s, the slaveholder and other people in the United States decided that the free African Americans should be repatriated back home to Africa. That was how my country formation came about. And you could see notable names like Francis Scott-Key and Boothroyd Washington, and all of these people contributed to the foundation of my country in the 1800s.
Good, good. Well, I'm glad to know that. Tell us, explain a day in Liberia. What would you do? Like if you are in Liberia now, what would you do?
Well, Liberia now, because it depends on where you find yourself in the society. If you are a wheelbarrow boy, that is the common people, you could be selling clothes in a wheelbarrow. And like me, as a university student, I should be on one of the campuses in the country and doing some normal thing, probably in the laboratory, probably in the library, or in the classroom, etc.
What kind of activities people like you do in Liberia? What do you do?
People like me normally would be playing soccer and basketball.
Africa is known for the sports, yeah.
Yeah, soccer mainly.
And you like soccer, right?
Oh yeah, I used to play soccer when I was in my teens. I really played soccer, and I used to like the experience so much. But when I grew to manhood, I didn't really specialize in soccer playing, so I just let it go. But I still have vast interest in soccer.
Yeah, and it is definitely this sport outside the United States. I play myself soccer too, so it's always good to watch a good game.
Yeah.
TV.
Oh yeah, it is. And in Moravia, the youth, in fact, oldsters as well, everybody loves soccer. If they play in the European League and whatever league, World Cup, you see a lot of people watching it. You see flocks of people all over in the video clubs around town just to witness these games.
Good. Well, let's switch a little bit and talk about traditions. Can you share some traditions with us, like special traditions in Liberia?
Yeah, Liberia is a country that has varieties of traditions because we have 16 ethnic divisions in Liberia, apart from the African American portion of the population. So Liberia is very really important when it comes to tradition. Like in my mother tribe, the Dan have some tradition. They perform the snake dance. The snake dance is something that's very interesting. And the knife dance, they call it snake dance, so I call it the knife dance. And now they do it in Ivory Coast as well because this tribe extends into the Ivory Coast. So it's a sharp pointed knife that you're gonna see a tiny little girl, acrobatically twirling on the tip of a knife, without the knife going through that person. You see how fantastic it is? It's actually mesmerizing. You're gonna like it. Like Europeans and other tourists mostly go to Ivory Coast to see this because it's in Ivory Coast that they mostly do it. Yeah. So it's really good. It's interesting. Besides that, they had the Vai people that had some interesting tribal activities, and the Mana as well, the Kisi, the Gola. Liberia, if you go to Liberia, you're going to like the tribal activities a lot.
So it's composed of lots of tribes. You have lots of tribes.
16 specifically, yeah.
16.
16 ethnic.
In the country.
In the country.
And what I mean, do you guys have like a different language for every tribe, or do you share? Like
yeah, it's ethnic linguistic. The 16 tribes speak 16 different local languages.
Okay. But all of you speaks English?
English generally.
Generally.
Because our country being founded by African American, so Liberia is mostly Christian. Liberia Liberia is the general language is English.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And can you tell us something in one of those languages? I mean, do you know how many languages do you speak?
I speak 2 of the local languages, including French, but I'm not too fluent in French. I'm not at home like in English and the 2 other languages. I speak minor and I speak down as well, apart from the English I'm speaking now.
Okay.
You could say Bavuo. That means good morning.
Bavu?
Bavuo.
Bavu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bavuo.
Means good morning.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, our audience in Liberian.
Yeah.
Good.
What is your name?
Yeah.
What is your name? What is your name?
What is
your name?
What is it? Wow.
What's your name?
Okay.
You say, Onsi John.
Okay. So that's good. So
will you say that?
Yeah.
Onsi John.
Onsi John.
Okay.
Okay. Did I say it right?
Yeah, right.
Good. Good. So do you have like a different, like for example, male, female in the language thing, or it doesn't make it different?
Yeah. Yeah, there is gender in almost all of the languages. I don't understand everything to be frank, but there is gender division in each of the languages.
Okay.
In manner, woman is lay.
Okay.
And man is gone.
Okay.
Yeah. And so forth.
It's the same as Arabic as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, soon, Sai, our producers will start like rolling pictures from Liberia.
Okay.
And as we start seeing those pictures on the screens, of course, we would like to start like talking about each one of them and share some information with our audience. So we'll start with the first picture here. So we'll leave it for you now.
Like I told you about the foundation of my country, Liberia. That was a country founded in quest of freedom, you know. They had slaves in the South in the 1800, like I said, who decided to go back home. And with the assistance of people, the Bushra, Washington, Francis Kaki, and other notable Americans, including the president, the 5th U.S. President, James Monroe, they were able to go back home and settle there. So as you can see there, that is the American Colonization Society. I think that is the certificate.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah, that's how our country, the capital city of Monrovia, was named after James Monroe, the 5th president of the United States of America, to tell him thank you for his help in carrying on the venture, you know.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's so nice.
And that is the flag. You can see it just like a carbon copy of the flag of the United States of America, except for the single star.
Yeah, it's the
single star.
And the single star stands for the fact that Liberia was the only country in Africa at the time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you see one single star.
Okay.
Like we call it the Lone Star.
That's really neat to learn about all this stuff.
Yeah, it is.
So it is interesting.
Yeah.
That's your map.
Yeah, that's the map over there. That's the map of Liberia. If you go to the coast, the coastline, there you're going to see all the cities' names in Western language. You know, almost everything in English. You know, the Harper, the Robertsport, the Buchanan, and all of these cities right along the coastline. That's where the settlers settled from the United States of America.
Okay.
So
that's neat.
And that's the city. That's just a partial view of Monrovia you're looking at.
Okay. That's where you live?
Yeah, that's my capital city. That's Monrovia.
Yeah.
Very historic.
Yeah, that's the capital. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
And those are the women. You see the clothes the women are wearing. That's the clothes. About a good percentage of the women in Liberia wear the lapa suit. Or dress like that.
The traditional costume.
Yeah, that's traditional, you know. That's how the women over there dress in the local area, in the rural area.
Does color means anything? Because I always see, you know, when I look at different, you know, countries in the continent of Africa, you know, especially the dress and stuff like that, it's always very colorful. The color has anything to do with tradition, it has any significance, or just like it's colorful?
Yeah, you see, like any people in the world, the African people give a preference to color.
Okay.
They're going to choose certain color that they want to use, I mean, in their apparel.
Okay.
And they say, okay, I like the red lapa, or I like the red soup, or I like to go with this one, you know, so, but they're the colorful stuff, you know, in Africa. Color really matter.
Yeah, and it's very fashionable. People spend lots of money to buy such dresses.
Of course.
Them, yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah. That's so
if
nice.
you wear that, yes, that's very decent. It makes them decent. It makes them like feel that they have their womanish virtue, you know.
Oh, wow, that's really very beautiful.
Yeah, that is rubber. As you can see, the fellow over there is tapping the rubber, and rubber is one of the key exports. One of the key exports of Liberia.
Ah, okay.
So that's the rubber tree, that's a whole farm, and he's tapping rubber. That's how you process the rubber and form it into the latex and whatever and prepare it for export.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's...
Yeah. So that's a rubber farmer. Okay, that's the...
Food now.
That's the food. Liberia, you know, like the food over there is the one we call the jollof rice.
Okay.
The jollof rice is a mixture of food. You mix the rice with other ingredients and cook the rice and put some paste, tomato paste and fried fish and what have you on top of it to enhance the taste.
So like your dishes are mainly fries and stuff, like healthy food?
Yeah.
Healthy food.
Yeah, and the new jollof too is from Senegal, where that food was originally from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it easy to find the spices here in the United States?
Of course.
So you find those spices?
Yeah, yeah. Liberian women mostly prepare that jollof rice.
Okay.
Even on Liberian party,
Okay.
you're going to see stuff like that. It's a major food.
Okay.
And we bake a lot of breads too, different kinds of bread, because Liberia is very unique in terms of bakery.
Okay.
Because they brought that from here, they carried that from here to Liberia.
Okay.
That was introduced from the United States.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, that is the anteater or the pangolin, and that is all over in the country. If you walk in the forest, you're going to see that.
You see that?
Yeah, and once it sees you, it's going to roll itself. And the people just get it easily, you know? Yeah. Instead of running away, it's going to roll itself into a ball by protecting itself. That's how it protects itself. It's very stupid to see.
That's really, I've never seen that before in my life.
Oh, yeah. Everyone who grew up in Liberia has seen this.
Does it have like a certain name, or it's like, do you call it something in Liberian? Or?
Well, the 16 tribes have 16 different names to call it. I mean, the English name is pangolin or the anteater because it mostly eats ants.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it anteater.
Okay.
But it's good. The meat is very eatable. It's very sweet.
Oh.
So Liberians love it.
As well?
Oh yeah, I've been eating that. Frankly, quite frankly, it's good. Even one of our presidents really liked it. One of our past presidents really liked it. He used to eat it a lot.
Oh wow.
Taught me.
Okay.
Like I learned from my father.
Yeah.
And now our current president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she graduated from Harvard University, and she's an economist. But because of the Civil War, Liberian people were tired of corrupt people, and they said, well, why not we give trial to this lady? And she had international credibility. The international community as a whole really trusts her. And now she's doing what they really want her to do. She's doing well. As you saw Monrovia previously, that aspect of Monrovia was given to it by her, thanks to her development, thanks to her hard work. And she really a person that doesn't like corruption.
Okay.
Unlike many African leaders today.
So your president is a woman, and so that means women and men in Liberia, they have approximately equal rights?
Yes, that's why he exemplifies.
That's exactly, yeah, that's so good.
Many Liberian women have been doing many great jobs in history, like Angie Bruce Render. Now she's there, but she used to be at the United Nations. Yeah. I think she was the first president, the first female president for the...
They fight for their rights.
Yeah, so I mean for the National Assembly.
Yeah.
Not General Assembly, excuse me.
General Assembly.
For the General Assembly, but now she died a couple of years ago. Yeah, we had some notable Liberian women.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's good.
And now that is the ugly picture of the Civil War. That was why I ran away into another country, in Ivory Coast.
That's part of the reason why you left Liberia.
That's the complete reason why I left.
Okay.
That's why I left my country, the Civil War. Because if you, those are not little kids, rambunctious little kid playing that you could shout at them to run away. Those are real killers.
Okay.
If you see that one of those guys face to face, I mean, you want to run.
Yeah.
If you live after that, you are lucky. That's why I ran into Ivory Coast, and there was Civil War in Ivory Coast, and ran into Guinea.
Okay.
And from Guinea, I came over here.
Okay. What? That's
So
good. It's good to have you here. Good
Thank
to have
you.
you here, Sai. Yeah.
And that is Charles Taylor, who has his origin in the United States. He's one of the free descendant of the free black slaves, as you can see per his name, Charles Taylor. And he was leader of one of the rebel groups that entered the country in 1989. A lot of Liberians will tell you, many Liberians will say 1990, but that was December 1989 that the Civil War broke into my country, broke up in my country. So that's Mr. Taylor. Now he's serving his sentence in jail.
In jail. Yeah.
Jail, yeah.
In prison in Great Britain.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed all the pictures that we shared with you today, and thanks for sharing all this information with us, Sai. We're gonna talk a little bit about now here, United States. While you are in the United States, what do you do now?
Well, the major thing I'm doing now is to go to school. To go to school, yeah, I work to sustain myself as an individual, pay my bills and all of that, but the key thing I'm doing in this country that I really admire myself is the education I'm achieving, so that I'll be able to go back home and help develop my country. As you can see, my country is not up to standard in terms of development because of the long civil war that we fought in our country.
What's your major?
Major is pre-law.
Pre-law.
Yeah.
And you're transferring to four-year college?
I'm getting my associate out from here by next year end.
And then after that, what you are planning to do?
After that, I'm thinking on doing economics or agriculture or foreign relations, one of these courses, so that I'll be able to enhance my own future and help my country. My main objective in going to school is just to help my country, because I see corruption rampant in my country, except for the current president.
Any idea where? I mean, are you staying in Iowa, or are you planning to go somewhere else to continue and get that economic degree or agricultural degree?
Well, I see Iowa to be a friendly environment, and I'm thinking to stay in Iowa and extend my education. Good. So my next start will be Iowa University or the University of Iowa. Yeah.
How did you hear about Muscatine at first place? Like,
well, a lot of Liberians were here, and they asked me to come over and stuff. I was in Oakland, California.
Oh. Okay.
So I had a lot of relatives, and they told me, well, we got some jobs over here. If you come here, you could get a job and go to school.
And yeah, we do have a community here, a big community really of Liberian here.
Quite a lot of Liberians are over here.
Yeah, and I met some of them, as a matter of fact. So that's really good. So you are taking classes here at MCC, and your goal is, of course, to finish MCC and then move on to a four-year college and/or university and continue with that. Yes. So what do you do, like, on a daily basis? Like, besides taking classes, besides studying, besides coming to classes?
What kind of activities you are
What as Loureen said, what kind of activities are you involved with?
Quite frankly, I have not been to actually take part in other physical activity like sport and what have you. I haven't been able to do that because I'm really tightened by the job and the school and the schedule. Everything is just hectic to me. So I'm unable to do other things besides going to church. I go to the SDA church. That's on Mulberry. Besides that, I'm unable to do other things, to be frank.
Where do you work? What's your job?
Tyson Foods.
Oh, okay.
Right to Columbia Junction. That's where I work.
Good. Okay, well, what do you think of MCC?
MCC, yeah, I really like it. frankly speaking. I like the school. Sometimes I sit and think, oh, I'm going to leave MCC one of these days, and I'm going to miss MCC a lot. I'm already here, and I miss MCC already. Like, I started missing MCC and started thinking about the time I'm going to leave. So I really like the experience over here, friendly people.
So you like the environment?
Yeah, I like the environment overall.
Would you encourage people to come to MCC?
Of course.
Oh,
of course. I have been encouraging other friends that have come over here.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I love MCC because the faculty are really assisting me every day when I need assistance. I mean, the politeness over here is quite different from the educational environment in Africa where I grew up. It's quite different. Like, everybody willing to help you. You know.
So what will be, like, you said it's quite different, but I mean, give me one thing, like the difference between, let's say, here MCC and, let's say, if you decided to go to a college back in your native. So give me something, like some differences.
Well, right now, things have changed in my country, but in grade school, some teachers would believe in, like, having all their students flunk, only to have, that teacher is flunking all the students. That's you know, everybody going to fear you, and everybody going to respect you, and you're going to make name in the school. And people
so
get
they
along
make
with
name
that.
by failing everybody?
By failing other people.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. And
Wow.
his test is really tough. That test, nobody going to pass that test. Oh, that guy, oh, yeah, that's him there. Oh, you know, every teacher, I mean, going to give that person respect as well as the student.
That's why you need to benefit as much as you can from the good education system in here and go help your country.
Yeah, there is a lot to be done over there to change things around. There is a lot. We are only talking about the educational sector. What about the governmental sector? What about people that are elected by the people and then turn out to be serving their own interests? That they want to fill their own pockets and do their own thing.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a whole huge planetary situation that we cannot even delve into. Okay. It's huge.
How do you celebrate your tradition here? Give me an example.
Say that again?
How do you celebrate your traditions?
Celebrate my tradition?
Yeah.
It's quite difficult. And besides that, I don't know. I'm kind of like, when it comes to the tradition, I'm not actually deep into it.
Okay.
If it were my father talking to you, it would be a different thing. But now, I'm not really like versatile
I mean,
in my tradition.
Do you do things like as a family, you get together and celebrate?
Most of the time, yes. The Liberians around here, we are from different ethnicity, but we get together and identify ourselves as Liberians.
Okay.
Most of the time, like I'm telling you, Saturday there will be a birthday party where almost everyone around in the Four City area will be coming out. I mean, to celebrate together and have fun. We usually do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
In spite of our ethnic diversity, we mostly identify with one another and keep together and share the Liberian spirits.
Well, that's good. Well, Sai, we want to give you like a minute to talk to our audience and say whatever you want to say. So it's your minute, and go ahead. You do whatever you want to say.
Well, what I have to say is that I'm really thankful to the people of the United States of America. I'm very thankful to the people of the United States of America and the people of MCC, because the education I'm getting here will benefit my people back home a lot. That's one thing I'm looking at, that they're helping me, giving me student loan, giving me assistance, and all of this encouragement they give me when I go to school. I mean, that's really, I can't overemphasize that.
I'm just so happy that MCC is giving chances to students from all over the world to develop themselves, and you are one of them. And we had Andrew last time from Russia, and me as well, like as an international student.
Yeah, it is. That's one great thing that one could achieve from this country, the education. And beside the education, the day-to-day activity outside the schoolhouse is what I'm looking at too. Like, nothing is tainted by corruption. Everything kind of straightforward on the overall. I mean, that's what I'm thinking about every day in relation to my own country. Like, oh, I wish my country was like this. I hope things were going on like this, I mean, things could be better. We have the money. We have the money, but we don't put it into the proper use. I wish everything was like this.
Yeah.
In my country, that's what I always think about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm being programmed by the good things I'm seeing over here. If I return home, I'm going to go with a different mindset for my country,
so you can help
in order to help my people.
Yeah, you're right.
And that is very important, you know, because that's part of what we call, you know, that's part of what we call education. And education usually improve us, improve ourselves, and also improve the people around us too, and the environment. So for that reason, what I would like to say here, as I always say, you know, we bring these students to you. We bring them with their culture, with their traditions. They share their stories, and this is really a great thing usually that we like to share with you, and we will continue to share with you. And as I always say, if you have any question and or comments for the show, you can call me at 288-6064, or you can email me at jdebit@eicc.edu. Till next time, Muscatine, bye-bye.